Greetings, beautiful earthlings. My name is Star. If you are new here, I don't know how you found me, but I am super grateful to have you. And if you are returning, you're the real MVP, you already know. So I'm sorry about my background, friends. I just finished filming a video. If you guys haven't seen it, it is the last one that I had uploaded about which decks I'm working with, and just kind of an update. And I just decided to keep filming because I kind of had more to talk about. So I'm still even in the same position from when I ended the video. I just haven't moved. But if you guys haven't seen that video, I did kind of end it with a little bit of a mic drop there. And for those of you guys who don't keep up with me on TikTok and haven't really been keeping up with me, my latest bit of news is that I have started recently working with Loki. So that's how I ended my last video. I kind of did just announce it, and like I said at the end of that video, I've been very nervous to talk about it, not out of like embarrassment, not out of like shame, especially not out of like Loki not wanting me to talk about it, because if you guys know Loki, he wants all the attention. Holy guacamole, he wants me to talk about him all the time. So it's getting very hard to like keep him secret, keep him quiet at this point, because a lot of my TikToks have just turned into conversations with Loki, and you know, I'm here for it. So I wanted to kind of give you guys a little bit of backstory, because I know I actually did film a video about how I was approached by the goddess Aset, and then, you know, me being a Christian witch at the time, being approached by the goddess Aset, kind of how I felt about that. And I had been working with the goddess Aset up until, you know, right now. And actually what happened is I have been feeling Loki's presence for quite a while. I hadn't wanted to acknowledge it. I hadn't wanted to talk about it. And I had been really, really rude to Loki. And I had told him, you know, I don't want you around. I have a god. I work with a god. And I realized I had a lot of Catholic and Christian fear in me about, you know, working with any other god. And I was more than willing to work with goddesses, you know, because that was like semantics, right? I wasn't working with another god. I mean, technically, when you look at your Catholic or Christian, what is it, commandments, it's you shall not worship any gods or goddesses above me, to be fair. And I used to dance around the thing where I was like, well, I don't worship the goddess Isis above him. I worship her with him, you know, next to him at the same level. But I used to work a lot with the goddess Aset. We did a lot of work. We were very active when I first started working with her. And I noticed her presence kind of dissipated a little bit for a while, as it does, whether it be, you know, because you as a human are just not into, like, you don't have the energy for the deity work or the, you know, regular upkeep of your protections and your wards and whatnot. But this is talked about a lot on TikTok in the pagan community, about how deities will kind of come and go, and they usually will like bring in another deity to, you know, leave on, like, here, I'm leaving, but here's this deity for you to work with now. And like I said, I've been feeling Loki's presence for a very, very, very long time, and I actually had multiple conversations with him. And he, of course, was very sneaky, and, you know, was like, I don't even want to work with you, you know, I like it here. I like, you know, your kid has toys, you guys have a dog, you have a lot of like witchy things around, there's a lot of spirits here, I just feel welcome, I just want to hang out. I just want to talk. Is that cool? Can we just talk? And, me being a host, I was like, sure, we can just talk. I'm not going to work with you. I'm not going to do anything for you. I'm not going to ask anything of you. But, I guess you can hang out. And Loki, as they do, shapeshifted and took the form of my goddess for a while. And I noticed all of a sudden my goddess got really active and she wanted to do a whole lot. And she was around all the time, all day, every day. And she had a lot of things she wanted on her altar all of a sudden, and a lot of things she never asked me for on her altar before. And I was just like, I was super stoked on it. I was like, yeah, she's back. She's yay, cool. And I kept seeing a lot of things about Loki impersonating other gods and goddesses, and I was like, that's just Loki. I didn't think anything of it. I feel so dumb because that was Loki impersonating my goddess for a long time so that I would talk with them and work with them, and I did. And they kept coming to me as Loki, trying to talk to me, and I would still be like, I don't want to work with you. I have a god. I have a god. I'm not doing that. And Loki would be like, what are you so afraid of? Your god's not around. I've never seen your god here. I've never heard your god around. I've never heard you talking with your god. Where is your god? And me being, a devout Christian, I was like, my God doesn't need to talk to me. I know my God is there. And we had tons and tons and tons of conversations, and eventually Loki kind of helped me realize it's just Christian fear. And someone actually had told me that a while back, and I snapped at her about it because she said, it's just Catholic fear that you've got, which keeps you from talking to and working with the spirits that are seeking you. And I snapped at her about it, and I was like, you don't know me, you don't know my religion, you don't know my relationship with my God, things like that. And anyway, it took me a long time to kind of soften up to it, and it helps that my aunt also works with Loki, so I talked to her about it a lot, all of the time, to kind of get comfortable with what was going on and to make sense of it. And I think the catalyst which actually got me to start working with Loki was around Halloween, right around I'd say the second week of October. There was a full moon, and the energy in this freaking house was through the roof, and neither me nor my daughter could sleep because it was so active in here. And I was so freaked out because it's a new house, it's a big house, and it's very hard for me to hold protections over the whole house. And I was like begging my ancestors to help me to do a spell for the whole house, right? A very strong protection spell for the whole house that I could keep adding to and keep powering. And I just really needed something. And silly me didn't vet my ancestors when I was talking to them because I was just so freaked out and so desperate. So in swoops Loki. Yeah, of course I'll help you with that. So, Loki walked me through a very extensive, very powerful protection spell that I put over the whole house that I can add to, that I can power through multiple sources. It's fantastic, actually. And after we did the thing, Loki was like, so are you gonna build me an altar yet? Like, hello? Like, are you gonna stop being so mad at me and just accept that I'm here and I'm not going anywhere? And I immediately felt so stupid. I was like, that wasn't my ancestor. I didn't even bother to ask. I didn't vet. And that was my fault. And they caught me slipping. They caught me, and I laughed so hard I sent my aunt a text, and I was like, they got me slipping. So that's kind of how I started working with Loki, and I was like, fine, if you helped me in a way that I couldn't help myself, and I am willing to, venerate you for the time being. I was like, I'm not going to dedicate myself to working with you just yet. I want to get comfortable with your presence. I want to, learn about you a little bit first, but, you helped me with this. Loki was actually helping me with a lot of shadow work in our conversations, and I didn't realize it for a little while. But yeah, Loki was doing a lot with me. And I was like, let me just venerate you, okay? You can go ahead and request a couple of things that you want. I'll start putting together an altar if I can, get the things, if I can make space. And we were just kind of getting comfortable with each other's presence. Like I said, Loki's a very, very active deity all the time, all day, every day. Loki is right here. And I like to, I know this might be a little bit contradictory here as someone who does deity work, but a lot of people don't do deity work because they think the deities are just egregores, meaning they are little entities that are fueled by our worship, meaning they are not the entities we think they are. They are just, entities we create them to be, and we fuel them with our worship and our, talk and our work and all of that. And I had a theory that the reason Loki is so much more active than like Mother Goddess is because so many people work with Loki. So I like to imagine the deities as just these little these little light bulbs being powered by hamster wheels. And it's kind of a joke that I poke at deities and deity work. It's being powered by a hamster wheel, and it's kind of like Loki's got a trillion hamsters on their wheels at all times, and that's why I keep saying he, that's why they are so active, and that's why they are so big, and they're just getting bigger, and they've just got more people working with them. I try not to think about the whole egregore idea too much because I kind of sent myself into a whole spiraling depression the last time I thought about it, and that's actually kind of what shook me out of my hold of Christianity, to be honest. I do believe that one might have been Loki powered a little bit, because it seems as though Loki's got a bit of a bone to pick with the Christian God. I don't know what that's about, but I just know from experience what I feel, what I hear, and what I experience with Loki. So anyways, I digress. The way that I kind of got welcomed into the world of Loki was on Halloween, on Samhain. Loki requested that we drink, that I give the spirits on the altars wine, because I've never given them alcohol. I always give them, water, smoke, crystals, whatever. And Loki was like, why don't you just give us all a little bit of wine? It's Samhain, we should celebrate. It's the least you can do. And I was like, okay, fine, you're right. So on Samhain, I gave everyone alcohol, and let me tell you, I don't know if it's just because it was Samhain, or if it's because I gave them alcohol, or if it was a mix of the two, but I've never felt my room so crowded in my life. It felt like I was tripping over people to sit in my chair. And it was actually very nice. I had all the candles lit. I had multiple incenses going. It was really amazing. I don't think I could ever talk about the full experience of what happened that night. A lot happened, but long story short, I got to have a really good conversation with Mother Goddess Aset, my ancestors, Archangel Michael, and Loki. And they all kind of wanted to leave really fast. I kind of opened the floor and was like, okay, does anyone want to do readings? Does anyone have anything they want to say to me first? How does everybody feel about Loki being here? And, the first people to dip out, clearly, like Buddha and Kuan Yin didn't want to be here. They were just like, okay, we see what's going on. We acknowledge our altars, like thank you for the altars, thank you for the worship, the continued worship. We'll be here in spirit, but it's not our party, and same thing with Mother Goddess and my ancestors. They wanted to dip out really fast, but they know that I had more to talk more about with them. So Mother Goddess wanted to take the floor because I had a lot in my heart regarding her, where I felt like she had kind of abandoned me. I didn't know if I wasn't worshiping her the right way, if I wasn't honoring her the right way, if she wasn't around because I wasn't working with her as much. I had a lot heavy in my heart, and I didn't want to ask. I didn't want to be disrespectful. And I did also feel like I had shamed her by Loki impersonating her as well. And so she did kind of take the floor, and it was very nice to see her again. Her, really her, not Loki, her. So she had kind of told me, like, I'm not as active of a deity as Loki is, and I want you to understand that it's nothing you've done. There's nothing you did wrong. I don't feel disrespected. I don't feel dishonored or anything. Like, all of the things in your heart, like, I know that they're there, and I want you to know that that's not how I feel at all. And I don't feel, disrespected by, Loki and everything. She's like, I want you to know that I cannot be here for you as much as Loki can. And I was really here to kind of walk you into this new chapter of your life, because you felt comfortable with me, because I've always been with you, and I want you to know, like, I'm not going anywhere. I may not be able to work with you as much as you would like, and I might not be as active as you would like, but I'm not going anywhere. And as long as you hold a spot for me on my altar, and you continue to worship and venerate me, and, have respect for me, I will always be with you. I will always be with your family. I will carry out the work that I told you that I would, and she was like, I want you to know, like, I give you my blessing to work with Loki. Like, I don't feel disrespected at all, and I feel like Loki can give you more than I can right now. And I feel like we've reached a point where there's not much I can do for you at the moment, but I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going to abandon you. And that meant so much to me. I was drenched. I was drenched in tears to hear that from her. And then my ancestors also, I had a whole team. It was really beautiful. I don't usually get to talk to that many ancestors at once. It's usually just one kind of representative for the group. It was very beautiful. And we had ancestor family talk, and they wanted to talk to me about a specific person, which was really cute. And just normal, like, family catching up stuff. That was very sweet. And then everyone kind of dipped out, and then it was just me and Loki. And Loki was like, okay, now that the squares are gone, let's party. So Mother Goddess also had told me that she was okay with me moving her altar up since she wasn't going to be as active, she felt like her altar didn't need to be down here where I'm constantly doing things with it, constantly interacting with it. And she said it was okay to give Loki that altar space. And I did not want to do that, okay, because that hurt my heart so much to even think about. And I didn't do it for days and days. And I kept thinking about it. And there was one day I was trying to move boxes. I got like this weird urge to just move boxes, and I wasn't paying attention, and I knocked Mother Goddess's plant off the altar, and I got dirt everywhere, water everywhere, everything. It was so bad, and I had to get everything off the altar to clean it. And while I was doing that, I kind of heard Loki be like, you might as well just move her altar up while you're at it. You're already cleaning off the altar. You might as well just put my stuff over there. So that's currently where I'm at. And yeah, it's been very hard for me to wrap my head around and come to terms with, again, as a very, raised Catholic, baptized Christian, very, very devout, very one God. That was very hard for me to understand. But also, on Samhain, I had my full team here. Even Archangel Michael was here. And Yahweh wasn't. And that hurt. Because I can't remember the last time I talked with Yahweh. So I have left a place on the altar, on the ancestor altar for Yahweh, for veneration for my ancestors, out of respect for them and their culture. And Catholicism was very important to both sides of my family. It was very big for them. Very, we were all raised that way. So out of respect for my family, my heritage, my ancestors, I have left a spot on the altar for Yahweh, with a Bible, with the Lord's Prayer, with, all of my little crosses and everything. But I don't know where I stand right now within the foothold of Christianity. So that was hard for me. It was very hard for me, and that's why I haven't wanted to talk about this. That's why I didn't want to make a video on it, and I've started to become more comfortable working with Loki because they push me out of my boundaries all the time for a lesson, constantly. And they also make me make a lot of TikToks about them. They love the attention. They love when I talk about them because it shows other people what working with them is like. And that is right now kind of part of working with Loki. It's like making TikToks for them, doing readings for them, stuff like that. And it's been a wild ride. But Loki being so active blows my mind, right? Not even my ancestors were that active. They're kind of come and go. They got other stuff to do. They're old, man. They're tired. But it's very amazing to have a deity that is so persistent, so I'm trying to think. There's a word I'm looking for. Reliable, maybe? That's a funny word to use for Loki, but you know, it's very nice to have a deity that listens to you and talks back when you talk and gives results big time. Loki gives results big time and fast. Holy cow. So that's my story as of right now. It's only been a couple of months in the working. So if you guys want to keep up with my Loki videos on TikTok, it's a fun place to be because I can do those skit videos. I do skit videos, and Loki likes me to do readings as well over there. But like I said, it's very, very new, very fresh. I was so genuinely scared of disappointing people, of backlash, of, I don't know, to be honest, I don't know. And Loki really helped me open my eyes to that, where at the end of the day, I was afraid of what I was taught, which was, you believe in one God or you're like damned to hell. And as I grew up, I didn't believe in that version of the Christian God. I didn't believe that God was hateful and worked through fear and all of that. And the more I started to create my own idea of what I thought God was, the less it aligned with the Catholic and Christian God and what that God has become and what that God has started to represent to people that follow him, and what those people show in their everyday life as their teachings. And it just resonated less and less and less with me every day. And it hurts so much to say. It's terrifying, but it's also liberating to finally realize, like, I don't have to be stuck anymore praying to someone who doesn't hear me, doesn't respond, doesn't take action. And I'm sure to some of you guys this is hilarious, watching like an ex-Christian go through this existential crisis, walking into the world of the unknown, right? But I've never felt more empowered, more protected, and more loved in my entire life. Which says a lot. So, that's what I've got for you guys today. Like I said, I've just barely started working with Loki, so we don't have a lot to show for it right now. Loki, again, is very active, very here all the time, so we do a lot of shadow work, constantly. A lot of healing and releasing, a lot of working on things. Loki makes me do a lot of little projects, a lot of little things that I think are for them, and then, it's for me. So, I don't have advice or anything for any of you who came to this video looking for like a shining example of what working with Loki is like, because I don't know. I don't know what we're doing. I don't know much of anything, but I will say that is why I've had such an affinity for runes lately. That's why I felt such a strong pull toward learning the runes. I don't know if you guys had noticed that a while back. I started making my own runes. I started learning about the runes, and then I made runes and sold runes. And actually, Loki was a very big part of that. And while we were making the runes for my shop, Loki made me learn and memorize the runes during the whole process. And the whole process of making runes for the shop was disguised as making runes for the shop, but it was a way to make me learn the runes. So Loki has a lot of really crazy ways of getting me to do things. Just like the other day, I was really depressed. I didn't want to get out of bed. I didn't want to do anything. And they made me make a little grimoire. And it was basically like, look at the thing you did. You didn't think you could do anything, and you did a thing, and you thought it was for me, but it's really for you. Look at you. So all I can say is it's a lot. It's a lot of craziness. It's like constantly having someone mess with you all the time and make fun of you and poke fun at you, but then you learn from it. I don't know if this is what having a big brother is like. But that's kind of how I would equate it. I don't see Loki as like a father figure. I see Loki as like a big brother, like a cool college age big brother. But anyways, I just kind of wanted to talk about it and get you guys up to speed. So I would appreciate if you guys made it this far. Be gentle in the comment section, please. Be kind. This was very hard to talk about. This was very hard to open up about. Just like my ISIS video, that was very hard for me to talk about as well, because that was, you know, me being a very devout Christian walking into uncharted territory that I knew was not where I should be, but I knew it's where I was called to be. So I hope that this was at least entertaining for some of you. I don't know that this was helpful in any way for anything. It's just kind of the next leg of my journey, I guess. But like I said, it's been a lot of fun so far. It's been very eye-opening. I learned so much with Loki. It's incredible. And I feel like I am just growing at an amazing rate. So if you guys ever want to go see any of my Loki videos, TikTok is the place to do it. Maybe one day I'll make a whole, you know, collection of Loki videos and turn it into a video. Maybe. I don't know. But I really hope that if you made it to the end of this video, you please give me a big old thumbs up. You know, that helps me out so very much. And I really hope that wherever you guys are, when this video reaches you, my friends, you have a beautiful, wonderful day. And I can't wait to see you in the next one. Namaste.